What we're doing here is we're attaching our handle to our short side. So you can see here I already have it attached and glued and also screwed in on the back. So this is what we're going for, and we have to obviously do that for both sides. So what I want to do is, first, before I begin this, I want to make sure that I have at least my front side sanded. Okay, so again, that's 120, 180, then 220 hand sanding. So I want to make sure that this is sanded. I can kind of skip the back. I can always do that later, but I want to at least make sure that the front or the outside face is sanded along with my handle. The reason being is that when I end up attaching this, I won't be able to get as close to the edges as I would like to. And if I do, it's just going to take longer and it's going to be more hand sanding. Okay? So the first way what we want to do is we want to make sure that our handle is 3 inches, I should say, 3 inches down from the top edge. So here's my top edge up here. I have my rabbet down on the bottom. So I'm going to make sure that that faces me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, like I said, by measuring down 3 inches. Okay? And I'm actually going to make this mark a little bit below 3 inches, a little bit longer, I should say. That way, what will end up happening is that when I end up placing my handle on my face, it'll end up covering the 3 inch marks. Okay, so again, all I have to do is just make tiny little marks, just enough so I can see it. I don't need to make the line all the way across. Okay, so we want the top edge to be parallel, the top edge of our handle to be parallel with the top edge of our side, so it's not anything cockeyed or anything like that. Next, what I want to do is center it left and right. So after I have the height of the handle down, I want to center it left and right. Now, I could go based off the plans, but an easy way to do that is to kind of eyeball it up about there. And I'm going to go on this side, and this one is about 3 1/8. Okay? So from the side to the end of my handle, it's about 3 1/8. I come to this side, well, it's about 2 7/8. Okay? So this measurement here, as of right now, is shorter than this measurement here. So what I'm going to end up doing is I want to split that difference so that it's even. And I'm going to keep going back and forth until I end up having them even. So it should be about 3 here. Let me double check on this side. And that's also 3. So my measurement from the end of my side to the end of my handle is the same on this side as it is on the other side. All I'm going to do again is just make a slight mark. It doesn't have to be anything huge, okay, because I don't want to end up seeing those marks when I'm done. So you can see I made my 2 top marks and my side where it's going to go. Now, what I want to end up doing is marking the holes on the back. So again, I could base it off of the plans, where my holes need to go, but I would, depending on if my legs were cut to the right length or if I made any other mistakes, mine may be a little bit different. So when we place the screws, our top, as you mentioned, is going to be, the top of our handle, I should say, is going to be at 3 inches down, okay? But if we were to end up taking the screw and going through, bring this out, going through 3 inches down here, it's going to end up poking up right through the top. So what I want to do is I want to split that difference, okay? So you'll have to do the math, figure out whatever this width was that we cut your handle to, and then take the 3 inches plus half of that, okay? So what I'm going to do, that'll give me the depth down. Now, in order to center it, like I've already centered my handle on the front, I want to center it on the back as well, so that I end up having my screws coming through the back and falling on that 1 inch line, okay? So I want to end up going 1 inch in on the handles, and that way it won't split or anything like that. So I want to find the center of my board and then go out 2 inches, because the overall handle length again was 6 inches, and if I came in on 1 inch on one side and 1 inch on the other side, okay, so that's 4 minus 1, or 6 minus 1 minus 1, which gives me 4. I want to split that difference. So what I'm going to do is up on my top edge. I'm going to take the overall length, find center of that, just making a small mark, and I can then go 2 inches to either side. Remember, I want to split the difference of the remaining material left on my handle. Right? So now I've located where the screws are going to go, left and right. Now I want to locate how far they are down. And again, it's going to be that 3 inches down plus half the width of your handle. Okay, so I'm going to find those marks. Make a mark here. On the other side. And then end up doing is taking my square, kind of crossing those lines, so I know exactly where I need to pre-drill for my countersink bit. So again, I want to locate the screw's height and then also the width, so where it's located based off of the side. So if you can see that, all I've made are just 2 marks, and that's where the center of my bit is going to go. I can then erase these marks here. They're not as noticeable, and then also those will come off when I'm sanding. Alright, so now I've gotten everything marked out. Now what I'm ready to do is I'm actually ready to attach my handle to the side.